Ladies and gentlemen, I realise that tonight we have dragged you away from the Scottish political leaders' election TV debate. I'm sure you're all gutted about it. I don't know if any of them will enjoy a landslide victory on June the 8th, but the winner of our next award certainly has. The William Hill Manager of the Year is normally one of the most closely contested of our awards, but this season it was effectively a one-horse race. Honourable mentions must go to Derek McInnes in the room with us tonight, who has had another excellent season in charge of Aberdeen. Derek's finished runners-up in the Premiership for a third successive year and reached both domestic cup finals. Also to Tommy Wright, whose consistency at St Johnstone is remarkable, and Alan Archibald, who led Partick Thistle to their highest league finish for 36 years. Neil Lennon, twice a winner of this award before and also here with us tonight, made a welcome return to Scottish football. And he convincingly led Hibs back into the top flight. Also in the Championship this season, Morton punched above their weight under Jim Duffy's astute guidance. Unfortunately, Jim couldn't be with us tonight, which is a pity from Barry's point of view, because his son Eddie had hoped to get the promotional rights to the rematch between Duff and Lenny. And perhaps one of the managerial feats of the season was Jack Ross keeping St Mirren up. But as I said, it was a no contest when it came to our voting for this award. Brendan Rodgers has enjoyed a truly astonishing first season in Scottish football, transforming the Celtic side he inherited last summer. Today, they became the first team in 118 years to complete a top-flight league season unbeaten. Next Saturday at Hampden, they will attempt to wrap up the domestic treble and also become the first team in Scottish football history to go through a domestic campaign undefeated in all competitions since the introduction of organised Senior League football 127 years ago. Brendan's team have performed with style, pace, precision and resilience. They also have a relentless work ethic and hunger to improve, which reflects their manager. From a media perspective, Brendan has also been outstanding value. To quote one of our members, he never leaves you empty-handed at a press conference. Back pages and spreads are guaranteed. Could I ask Kieran O'Brien, Communications Director of William Hill, to present the William Hill Manager of the Year Award to Brendan Rodgers.
Stephen, thank you. Just the first thing, I suppose, to thank, like Kieran, the William Hill for, it's my first event here at the SFWA Awards, so beautiful event, and obviously thanking all the staff here as well. It's a very, very nice meal, so thank you for that. I think the second is to mention, obviously, the writers. A massive thank you for voting me. When I come up to here, I was very clear, very clear when I first came in, without wanting to offend any of the reporters or journalists, to say that I didn't do individual interviews. I'm more than happy to do the group interviews after each press conference. And I've got to say a big thank you to you, the writers, because you really respected that. I was never trying to be difficult. I just didn't want to offend anyone by giving a one-to-one interview with anyone, whilst not giving it to someone else. So I just try and blanket cover everyone by saying I'll speak openly to the group, as opposed to individuals. And as I said, it's a real honour for me to receive it from you, considering that was one of my first things I said to you when I first came up here. So it's a huge privilege to receive it, so thank you very, very much. I think the third group of people is to thank is the other managers throughout all the leagues here in Scotland. Leadership and being a manager is changing year on year. It's becoming even more difficult with the new modern player coming in. It becomes even more difficult. Like I say, I know Stephen said it was a very easy choice for them, but as I said, for me, us all managers were all in it together, and I think honestly there was probably a number of guys that could have been stood here receiving the award. I think Derek's done an incredible job at Aberdeen, like you say, getting to 2 cup finals, building the club over the last 4 years. You mentioned Alan Archibald again getting into the top 6. Fantastic. And then I mentioned to Neil Lennon, because Hibs have been trying to get up for the last few years. And obviously he's gone on this year and done an incredible job in getting them promotion, and the Scottish Premier League will be a better place for Hibs being in it for sure. I think a big thank you obviously to Kieran and to Scott. Obviously they're both winners here this evening. Kieran was a young player that when I walked into Celtic within the first 2 or 3 days, we had a huge bid for Kieran when I arrived last summer, and within a few days I could see why that was. I tried to convince him to stay, to say that his education and training would be better served in these next few years at Celtic, and within a few days he signed a new contract. And from that, and you heard him speak here, the maturity for a 19-year-old boy to come, he's really grown into a fantastic young player, but a super young man as well, and I think he's a great credit to the Scottish game, and obviously, of course, to Celtic as well. So well done. Yeah. And obviously, Scott goes back a long way. When he was 16 years of age as a young player at Chelsea, we came together again at Swansea. We had a wonderful journey there together. Our paths went on a different way. It hurt me to see him in the last couple of years suffer a little bit in his football, because he's always been an outstanding talent. And one of the first things I did when I became the Celtic manager, and his parents will vouch for it, I travelled to Mallorca and I drove all around Mallorca to try and hunt him down, saying that Celtic was definitely the place I feel he could relaunch his career and also be playing for one of the great institutions in the world. And I'm very lucky that he decided to sign, and I'm sure he'll speak later on his decision, because it was one of the best decisions he's made coming to Scotland and obviously joining Celtic. So well done to you, Scott, as well. Okay. And my final thank you goes to all the staff. I know we get some staff here from Celtic this evening. It's really a club that we've tried to pull together and just have a one vision of how we wanted to work going forward. It's been an incredible season, and obviously the manager and the players will get the accolades, but there's all the support staff in behind that do a wonderful job. My coaching team are an incredible group that work very closely with me in how we work. All the other staff at the training ground, as well as the football club, media, commercially, everyone. The club's really focused on going in one direction, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully we can continue with that, with that focus and keep improving for next season. But finally, thank you very, very much to the writers. I'm really honoured to receive your award, and hopefully everyone can have a good rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you very much.